Let's dive right to that game. Commanders and Lions last night in Detroit. Lions heavily favored. We knew it would be a shootout, and Rex, it was early. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh, I tell you what, this guy right here, you talk about a spectacular player, 175 all-purpose yards. Now he knocks it in the end zone here.
Punches it in, and so the Lions take the early 7-0 lead. But now a minute to play in the first, and Alex, Lions leading at 7-3. The first time we see trouble.
Yeah, critical mistake here. Big play by this Commanders defense. Kind of story of the night. They were scrappy. They made enough plays to get the win.
Tedy the other way, Jayden Daniels, De'Ami Brown, and they were just getting warmed up.
Look at the Commander offensive line and that incredible protection to an incredible throw. Jayden Daniels down the field. He was hot all night.
That one's 42 yards, and then Brian Robinson takes it in, and the Commanders take a 10-7 lead. Back and forth we go. Next possession, Detroit. How about this catch?
Oh, this is absolutely ridiculous. This might be the catch of the year. Throws the glove out, doesn't use the other hand. Look at this catch.
Get that one framed.
Are you kidding me?
Sam Laporta, 14-10 Lions. Next possession, Commanders. They didn't blink at all on this night, Alex. Here's Terry McLaurin.
Jayden catches the Lions defense in pressure. Absolutely nice. Gets it to his playmaker, Tedy, and then he does the rest. Finishing this one off with a
What a run.
Very scary.
Commanders take the 17-14 lead. Lions take over, and Tedy mistakes. The story of the night for the Lions offense.
Commanders sitting back in that zone defense that they played all night. Goff throws it into a team meeting. Who was the rookie? That's my question. Who was the rookie? Because Goff got tight. Luvu makes him pay right there, and they walk it in the end zone.
It's a pick six, and look at the hit that Goff will take at the end of this play.
Yeah,
right there.
This is horrendous right here. I mean, should have been a 15-yard penalty. That was Patrick Mahomes. Somebody be kicked out of the league.
He would have to temporarily leave the game. But they turn it into offense. Jamison Williams, tricky play. Here come the Lions, Alex.
Man, they got firepower everywhere. This guy's electric. This was unbelievable. Big play in this game. Shout out to Tedy, 2 gloves coming in after coaching his high school game, leading the team to a touchdown drive here.
Jamison Williams, a 61-yard score. It's a 3-point game again. And then how about this throw, Tedy, from Daniels?
Unbelievable. I mean, this is probably the throw of the night for me. Just the accuracy all the way across the sideline right there with the anticipation to put it where only his receiver could get it. Unbelievable.
And then he finds his tight end, Zach Ertz, who's so clutch down by the goal line. Commanders, a 10-point lead. We're still in the second quarter, the highest scoring quarter in NFL postseason history. Another big mistake.
Yeah, right here. I mean, he's late throwing the post. The post is open in the quarter's coverage. But Penei Sewell rarely, I mean, he gets beat. He steps up. You can't make that throw late like that.
Sam is still on the scene again.
All that was in the first half. To the third quarter we go, and we've got more trickeration from the Lions.
This play was so good. I mean, so good. Look at the creativity here. Man, filthy.
Montgomery credited with a completed
I don't know who
pass.
designed that one, Rex.
I have no idea, but the guy has got the same name I have.
Second and goal, Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs takes it in. It's a 3-point
We got a game. We got a game.
Fourth. Now a critical moment. Rex, I'm coming back to you here. 4th down, looking for a stop. The Lions have 2 men.
This happens when you got 3 practice squad players playing
Can't
on
do it
defense.
still.
Absolutely you can't do it. No kidding. Everybody in the ballpark's telling you got too many. But that's what happens. You got 3 practice squad players who never took a snap all season.
Happened on a 4th down. Commanders get another chance. They get the touchdown. They're up by 10. Lions looking to answer, but it backfires for the first time.
Pressing again, you're right. They're obviously going to do another gadget. He can't throw the ball there. It's covered. He's got to throw it away or run it.
Going back the other way, the Commanders on a 4th and 2. They go for it on 4th down almost as much as the Lions do, and they always convert. And then they convert from that to this. Jeremy McNichols in for the score. Commanders starting to open up a cushion. Final minute of play now. Lions are down 2 scores. Desperation time, and there's another interception. That ices it. One of the huge stunners we've seen in recent postseason memory. That young man, Jayden Daniels, and the Commanders were the win that absolutely no one saw coming. 45-31. On they go to the NFC Championship game, and afterwards, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
3 things, man. First one's this. Ball is life, man. All right. Love you guys. Let's find out where it is tomorrow. Take our show back on the road. Yes, sir.
I always believe that we could achieve more than what people give us credit for. But, you know, you got to go out there, put in the work. You got to go out there, work daily, get better each and every day, and just put your head down and grind. And by the end of the time of the season, you look up, and you might be in a position like this.
It's not the time to talk about what a great year or how many wins. It just, you know, it's because at this moment, I don't think any of us feel that way. You know, the whole point of doing what you do is to get to the show, man. That's why you play this game, and we fell short.
Okay, put your feet up. We have a lot of time to dive into this game and its ramifications. And Tedy, you said something here a couple of weeks ago that I wrote down. You said, for some reason with Jayden Daniels, the rookie rules don't apply. What do we say about him after he just pulled that off last night?
Continues to impress in the most difficult situation he's ever been faced upon. I mean, the #1 seed on the road, and he didn't blink. He didn't blink. We saw the throws. We saw his 4th down conversions with his legs. I mean, this team looks to him, and they know that they can beat anybody. This wasn't even about this game. This is about them thinking that they are the best team in the world and winning a world championship, I think. I think they totally had the expectations to go in there and win. You could tell it from their quarterback. The unbelievable offensive line play because, I mean, he had pockets that he could throw from where he was clean 3-4 seconds, and when he didn't, he could escape and use his legs. Absolutely impressive performance from probably the best rookie quarterback I've ever seen.
I completely agree with you, Tedy. And the thing that jumped out to me about last night is, listen, there weren't any like highlight reel runs from him. This was just NFL quarterbacking as it should be from a rookie, right? Road playoff games this year. Jayden Daniels has 1 punt, 1 sack, and 0 turnovers. That is incredible, right? Last night, the Lions pressured him and pressured him and pressured him, and he had an answer. He got the ball out quick. He drifted. He made plays. 4th down, continually finding his guys. Look at that. That is an absurd statistic. On the road, 2, NFL playoff teams, and you're a rookie quarterback. This guy obviously is anything but a rookie. He's so prepared for this stage. And he embodies what this team is about, right? Dan Quinn preaches anybody, anywhere, anytime, right? These guys are fearless, and they got a QB who's fearless as well.
Well, and that's it. He's a hired killer. You say what you want. I mean, does he have a pulse rate? I don't know. But you just go in on the road and playing in that environment, dude's like, hey, let's go. Oh, it's 4th down. All right, rookie quarterback. He's throwing forward. He's doing whatever. Like, it is unreal. And look, here's what the NFL has to look forward to the next 10 years. That dude's going to be in the playoffs for the next 10 years. Like, he is that good. He's one of those type of guys. I said it, remember, early in the season, I said, every single team in the NFL is going to be looking for this guy. Good luck finding this guy. There's no way in hell. Like, he is so good. It's unreal. And, look, we can say what you want. But he's, taking an average offensive line at best and only gives up the 1 sack, all right? They play good against a JV pass rush, I get it. But it's not that. This kid is amazing. And then when you look at the defense, their defense, they got the 5 takeaways. That's outstanding, not taking anything away. Give up 560 yards. It doesn't matter when you got this cat at quarterback. I love Jayden Daniels. I think he's absolutely spectacular. I mean, do you think they're going to care if they got to go to Philly, if they go to LA?
They won't
care
because they just
play.
went into one of the toughest places. They outdid the Lions at their own game. Right? They rushed for 182 yards. They protected their quarterback. The trick plays, they got a couple on them, but then they play zone coverage. You want to try to get greedy on us and press. We'll just play zone. Sain Ristill's another great rookie that had 2 interceptions last night. They're the ones that converted on 4th downs. 3 out of 4 on 4th downs. They took the Lions and said, no, we do this better than you do. They were clearly the better team last night.
Well, they were when you got 18 players out. Let's not get it twisted. I've got to say this. No, I got to say this. Number one, like, I'm not saying taking away anything from the Commanders, all right? And it's not like they did it against Detroit only. They're the #1 4th down team in the history of the National Football League. So you're surprised that they did it this way? No, this kid has been doing it all season. They convert at the highest rate ever in the history. So this team is outstanding. I mean, it is. It's outstanding. But we can maybe mention it. Where Dan Campbell's not going to mention it. That's what I love about him. No excuses whatsoever. But when they have 2 DBs go out of a game that's already down 4, come on.
I get that and I hear that. But listen, this Detroit offense was healthy and ready to roll, right?
Yeah.
And they still turned the ball over 5 times. right? That wasn't the defense doing it. They were the team that pressed. Multiple of these turnovers, it was a 3-point ball game, right? And they were the team that was pressing. And they've been there. They were so ready for this moment, we all thought, and yet they didn't. And it was the flip side, the rookie quarterback, the young team that handled the pressure better. They didn't press and make these critical errors.
Detroit turned it over 5 times during the regular season against the Houston Texans and was able to survive. You're not surviving in the postseason when you turned it over 5 times against this rookie quarterback who has been great on 4th down, who has 6 drives in the final 10 seconds of a game, who now we can begin talking about. We see the 4 great quarterbacks in the AFC, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. Well, there's one in the NFC that now rules that conference, that changes the way that we're going to view this franchise and view that conference. He's elevated an otherwise average roster, made him a viable Super Bowl contender. And I think somehow the football gods may have had something to do with this. This is the first full season that Daniel Snyder is not involved in Washington. And now they're looking down in Washington and saying, enjoy this trip to the NFC Championship game that your fans will love.
I just can't say how surprised still I am at what Detroit put out there. I mean, this is the team that was number 1 in point differential, okay, and number 1 in the time of possession with a lead. All of a sudden now, did you expect this game to be a bludgeoning? Did you expect this game that it was going to be a blowout?
They did.
All of a sudden, you're in a game now, and Jared Goff is the one that's playing tight. I mean, there are no defensive players that got hurt that were on that offensive side. The quarterback was tight. I think the play calling was a little tight. Goff throwing into team meetings. I don't know who the rookie was.
Yeah. Well,
that's what I'm thinking.
And look, even on that particular play, you got a guy that's open by 10 yards at least. And he decides to throw it deeper. We've seen him do it and make those things. I'm not saying he didn't play tight. They did have 530 yards.
5 turnovers though, Rex.
But I know I get it. I'm absolutely get it. But to sit back and say, guys, this is all about the quarterback. It is. It's all about this quarterback. He has elevated the play of that entire football team. And that's how special this kid is. And to sit back and say, well, the Lions, you expect more and all this stuff. Look, this team won 15 games, riding a defense, by the way, that was dead last in the league since week 14. Week 14, they've been dead last in almost every category. Total QBR, per play, all these type of things, all right? And they were number 2 in the league in all those categories up until those injuries. So did it have a little thing? Of course, but I'm saying I don't want to take away what the Commanders are doing. But let's not just say, well, the Lions were terrible in this game. No, they played an awful game, obviously turning the football over. But to sit back and just ignore the fact that they had all these injuries, I think is over. They'll be back there next year. We'll see.
No one's going to feel sorry for them.
I
don't feel sorry for them. Nobody on this desk feels sorry for them. And now they're going to go forward. And I'm just saying, these Lions. When those close quick, and you're going to lose your offense.
I'm proud of the damn Lions. I don't care. I get it. They lost the game. I wore my Lions stuff here because I'm proud of that football team. If you are a Detroit Lion fan, you should be proud of your football team. But guess what? The best teams don't always win. The best teams don't always win.
You can be proud. You can be proud, but you're disappointed this morning.
Absolutely.
We understand your pride, and rightfully so. But listen, last note on this. The Commanders coaches, I talked to them this morning. All week they were preaching to Jayden about not taking a negative play. No sacks, that the Lions were going to come after him, and he was ready. He was the guy that didn't make the critical errors, right? Not a single sack. He dissected the pressure yesterday. And on the flip side of this Lions offense has no excuses. Right? Full power. They were a juggernaut, and they were the ones, right? They pressed. They made these errors that lost this ball game.
They went in the game knowing they had to score 40 points. All right? Now, they did it. They scored 31, turned the ball over 5 times. Absolutely not to their standards. All right? Not to their standards. Now, most teams would have loved to have scored 31 points and have 530 yards of offense, but to sit back and say, I guess when you have one of the best offenses in the history of the NFL, you expect more.
Yes. And as far as Jayden Daniels is concerned, and that really should be the storyline here, we can forget about the conversation about greatest rookie seasons for a quarterback ever. If you appreciate the history of the sport, the greatest rookie seasons the league has ever seen are people like Jim Brown, Gale Sayers, Mike Ditka. I think Jayden Daniels goes to number 1. I think with this win, Jayden Daniels is the greatest rookie the NFL has ever had. and he's one win away now from the Super Bowl. So that's where we stand from last night. Last night, Texans and Chiefs started this round of 8 in the NFL playoffs. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. And you know what, Rex? As sure as can be, it's going to be Kelce in the postseason.
I mean, you know what's coming. You can't do anything about it. This is what happens. You're late on the blitz here, but Kelce
Make that tackle.
is an absolute freak in the playoffs.
That was with a 6-3 lead midway through the second quarter. 3 plays later, it leads to Kareem Hunt punching it in, and the Chiefs are up 13-3. It's 13-6 midway through the third. And then, Alex, here comes this Houston offense. They come to life. First, it's Nico Collins, and then Joe Mixon.
Yeah, this was big. They ran the ball great all day, and then C.J. Stroud, I thought he played well in this game, especially in big moments, using his legs. Big throw and catch right here.
It would set up Mixon for a 13-yard touchdown. Texans would miss the extra point, which would be critical in a variety of ways. Texans down 13-12. Tedy, next drive, here's a big third down play. Where else would you go?
It's easy. That guy. Travis Kelce, you got to double him. You got to take care of him in critical situations. Third down in the red area. And you got Taylor Swift and Caitlin Clark looking on fourth down. They go for it, Rex, and they get it with Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, they pick up this guy during the season, and this is why. Short yardage plays,
And then this is a third down play. Alex, go ahead and give me some insight into this.
I would love to say I taught him this, but listen, this is what makes him so special. I mean, look at the gravity of the situation. Situational football, red zone specifically, was the difference in this game. And these 2 touchdowns, I mean, this one right here, falling down, I mean, Superman throw. I mean, to have the courage to make this throw, let alone pull it off, is ridiculous.
Trav finding that spot right behind the linebacker is just textbook.
So it's an 11-point game late. This is on second down, Rex. They took a lot of bad
No,
sacks.
and you can't do that here. As good a quarterback as this young man is, he has a tendency to take too many sacks.
And back-to-back sacks on this sequence here. And Stroud being helped off in this game. He banged up his knee early on. You'll see him being helped off. A 35-yard field goal from Kaimi Fairbairn would have made this a 1-score game, would have made it interesting. But I'll say this, Fairbairn had himself a very bad day yesterday. Leo Chanel with the block on that one. Fairbairn missed another field goal badly and missed an extra point. This one was the punctuation. Any chance the Texans had went away right there. And so Mahomes and the Chiefs go on to win it 23-14. They move on to the AFC Championship game, which they have qualified for in every season that Patrick Mahomes has been their quarterback. 23-14 for the Texans. A good year comes to a disappointing end.
I feel like we were the better team, you know what I'm saying? But we shot ourselves in the foot again. Like, we have to find some way to get over this hump of us making the same mistakes over and over and over. We can't have that if we want to beat teams like this.
We knew going into this game, man, it was us versus everybody, right? When I say everybody, it's everybody. The naysayers, the doubt, right? Everybody. With that, knowing going into this game what we were up against, we can't make the mistakes that we made.
You can never relax from last year to this year.
But that's a good football team. Phenomenal defense that they've got. And we knocked a little of the rust off, and we're humbled to be in that position.
So it doesn't always have to be an offensive explosion. It doesn't always have to be the defense locking it down. It's just who can find a way to get a win and how can we do that. And I think that's what makes us a special football team. We'll try to carry that into next week.
Again, he has been in the AFC Championship game in every season that he has been the starting quarterback, and we'll see he's now 1 win away from a shot at an unprecedented three-peat. And Tedy, as you watch the Chiefs play, they remind me of your Patriot teams, which is they never do the things that get you beat, and that is a big part of winning postseason football.
And when you beat teams as often as they do, you get some teams thinking, like Will Anderson said, we are the better team, but then he says we just keep making the same mistakes over and over and over and over. I don't think the Houston Texans understand how to win a football game like this. I think there's just a big difference in class of coaching staffs and in players here, and I recognize it right away. I mean, in terms of the opening kickoff, and then, it was Chris Boyd going absolutely ballistic because he thought he forced a fumble, him pushing his coach. And then the defense, yes, the defense is outstanding. Minus 15 yards from that, and they get the 3 and out. Maybe it's a tougher field goal to make. Those little things, they just don't understand. Will Anderson, you know that's Patrick Mahomes, right? If you give the officials any type of excuse to throw the flag, they will throw the flag. I played with a guy that, he had the same type of carte blanche / Jordan rules that Patrick Mahomes also has, all right? You're gonna get those calls, and you have to know how to win those type of games. To hear DeMeco Ryans afterwards talking about, everybody against us, of course he's talking about the officials. But when you lose a game and you're talking about officials, the Chiefs will just look at that and just understand that you never really understood how to beat us, because what Patrick said was exactly true. It doesn't matter what the game is. They know how to win the game they're in, not the game that they thought it would be. That's how good the Chiefs are.
And listen, there are 3 phases to football, right? We talk, obviously, a lot about offense, defense. Special teams matters. It was a special teams disaster for the Texans. Kansas City, Dave Toub, this unit has won games for them continually. I mean, from the opening kickoff, you basically donated them 3 points, right? You missed 2 field goals. You missed an extra point. I mean, that's 10 points right there alone, just in the kicking game, right? Outplayed. And this was a big factor. And this is playoff football, right? Like
it is.
Patriot teams that were so good on special teams, your margin of error is small. So for Will Anderson Jr., you played good on defense, but I mean, again, these details matter. Situational football matters. We saw the goal-to-go situation where Kareem Hunt runs it in, the 4th down, right? The Patrick on the 3rd down Superman throw, right? Like that was the difference in this game. And then again, Travis Kelce, right? The Chiefs had 200 yards offense. Right. I mean, Trav was more than half of that, right? And again, is he slowing down? He's not the same. The guy, the rest obviously did him a lot of good, and he looked unbelievable. And this was the crazy thing. In big-time moments, man-to-man situations, that's where Patrick was going. It was to him every time, and he delivered. Listen, I know how this building works. It's all about matchups, right? Know your personnel. And Patrick did yesterday, right? And it delivered.
I mean, the whole year I've been saying, look, they're vulnerable this year. They're vulnerable this year. This is not the same type of team, but it's the same championship medal type team. 212 yards, and you go out and win the game by, it's crazy.
But isn't that the point that we began with, which is they don't, what they don't do is they don't beat themselves with mistakes, with bad sacks, or with turnovers.
No, absolutely. But 7 years in a row of this, it's crazy. So it matters. Now, look, is there still some concerns? You're telling me that when I saw Patrick Mahomes and all that after the game, he was disappointed.
Yeah, he wasn't happy.
You could say what you want. The guy, they had 212 yards. Yeah. All right, that is. We'll see. It was good enough to win this game? But is it going to be good enough to move forward, beat Buffalo, or beat? It was
telling. You heard Andy even reference the rust. Listen, they had a month off, right? It did affect this offense early. They missed some things, and that was kind of key. That the Texans should have been up 10 early in this game. Instead, they were trailing 10 somehow because of special teams, right? And again, that's how Kansas City gets.
By the way, speaking of Patrick Mahomes, this is a week where on shows like Get Up, we spent a lot of time talking about Jayden Daniels and a lot of time talking about Lamar versus Allen, and I have no apologies. Do you know that the last time Patrick Mahomes threw an interception was 63 days ago? It was November 17th. That's the point. He's still the standard. Someone is going to have to knock that guy off, and it is very hard to picture anybody doing it. We will see.